Hi, it's Daphne, and I'm here to share my completed Prima 8.5 by 8.5 mini album. It's featuring the Pretty Pale paper collection, and I want to share with you some of the elements on the cover. Also, I want to let you know that in the last of the tutorial videos, I go over some of the process that I use to come up with my covers. So I hope you guys find that useful. I have had a couple of requests. Hopefully it's in line with what you were looking for. Okay, so I'm going to go over some of the elements. So here are some banner cut papers just as part of the collection. This piece of white cardstock, and then I've layered on top this vellum, which all of the floral packs come with this sheet of vellum inside. So I've kind of used pieces throughout the book. I think it adds some interesting depth. This is a die cut. These are the little crystals, and it comes in a pack like this. And I've used a couple of the crystals throughout, but I did feature them here on the cover. This is a die cut, this is a die cut, this is a die cut. So is the butterfly. This butterfly is part of one of the packs. You can get a pack of butterflies. I think you get 8 butterflies in a pack, and so I've used some of those. If you click the More button, you'll see a detailed description of each of the elements that I used in this if you want to recreate it, and where to find them in our shop, okay? This is a Prima die for the leaf here and here. This is actually from Graphic 45. And it's part of the tall die, tag die. And it has a couple of pieces of floral and ephemera in it. So I used some of those for the flourishes here. The Prima, I really like it. I think it's quite pretty, and it worked with the large flowers, but in the inside, when I used some of the smaller flowers, this foliage was too big, so I used some of the graphic ones. So that's my cover. On the inside, I've got a nice little design element here. This is fussy cut from one of the prime papers, the cover sheet in the collection. This is a Prima flower layered. Here's some of those crystals. This is a piece of chipboard. More of the die cuts, another piece of chipboard, and this is a die cut here. Okay, and then on this side, I created a little cluster, which is this piece attached to what looks like a chipboard, clipboard here, and then I actually adhered it here. Here's a couple of the crystals, and this is a piece of chipboard here, a die cut heart. I've cut these with the Prima die cut, and then you can see there's a fussy cut floral right here too. Okay. This opens, and then this is just a card that I've layered, and I only adhered 3 of the 4 sides so that you have a pocket on top. And then these are more of the small, this is the large journaling ephemera cards, and these are the small ones. And then this is a die cut, this is a die cut, die cut piece, die cut piece. The die cuts, when you buy a pack of the die cuts, they're great. I mean, they really give you a lot of product in each one of the packets. So I use those extensively throughout the album. And then I have a nice big large photo mat inside each one of the 4 pocket pages. Okay, this is a nice simple pocket. I've got a flat back photo mat, and then this one is a card shaped photo mat, so you can add photos or journaling here. This is a piece of chipboard. There's another one of those. Oh, and I didn't tell you, but I featured some of the crystals on this page too. Little tiny piece of chipboard here. This is another one of those butterflies. I think they're beautiful. Here's a floral cluster that I made using fussy cut, Prima Flowers, and then the die cut Prima leaves. Okay. And then here is another, so they have 2 kinds of die cuts. They have the paper die cuts that I feature throughout, and here's one down here. And then they have these which are clear, and they're kind of like plastic. They're quite thick, and you can stick things behind them, so it's pretty cool. I'm liking those quite a bit. I'm going to try to find something that I can use. I'm going to take one of these small journal cards here and demonstrate for you how you can slip behind it so you can see right through that. So it's kind of interesting. So I applied one of those here, and then down below I've used a nice die cut down here for a tuck spot. And again, this is the chipboard over here. And it is a pocket page, so it has a nice large photo mat inside of it. Okay, on our next page, this is a half flap. I've adhered this particular floral spray directly to the flap. A lot of times I'll build it outside the book and then add it. So these are all Prima Flowers. You'll see the graphic leaves here. There's a piece of chipboard. These are what's called tickets, and they come in a pack like this, and they have lots of words on them, and they add a lot of interest. So there's a pack of tickets that I've used, not the whole pack, but part. Sorry for the interruption. Somebody was at my door, so I can't remember where I left off. Oh, I think I was talking about these tickets. And they have nice little words on them. You tear them in half, and you've got 2 tickets, and that's what I've done here. And I think they add a lot of interest. So, and then also on this page, I've used the washi tape, and I've used it in a couple of different places. One of the things I love about the Prima is there is so many design elements you can use to add all these layers. So this opens up, and then I've got a die cut here, which you can stash your photo behind. And then this is a fold down card, and I put a piece of die cut here. There's a die cut here, and then this is also a die cut here in the corner. And then I've only adhered 3 of the 4 pages sides of this card, so it also is a pocket, which is holding 2 small ephemera cards, which come in a pack like this. Take that tape off. Okay, so there we go. Now on this page, same function. I've just offset the cards, the pockets here. So here I've got a piece of, I'm gonna bring it a little closer. Here is a die cut. So everything from this floral spray is actually mounted on a die cut. I added a couple of crystals. There's a piece of that tape that I like, and I added it here and here as well. These are the Prima Flowers. These are Prima leaves. There's a graphic leaf, and then this is a fussy cut from the cover. All right, and I'll set that down. That opens up. And as you can see, I've got a couple of pieces of ephemera stuck in here, and this is a die cut. Again, like I said, the die cuts, they give you so many. You can just really put them everywhere. Here's a piece of chipboard over on this side, and I've left it open-ended so you can put your photos above and below. And then here's another piece of die cut, and I just mounted it in the center and then just scored it so it would fold in half. And so you can add your photos above and below. Okay. And then on this page, I used another Prima die right here, and this Prima die is just a I think it's a 4x6 complete. I mean, it's a very large die, but I cut only a corner of it off because it was going to be too busy for the whole thing. So I kind of did a cascade, and I'll leave details on what this die is and the other dies in the description below. I don't have it at my fingertips right now. We have a chipboard here. Here is another tag and another ticket. Some more of the Prima Flowers layered on top. This opens up. Here's another one of those tickets that I was showing you from this collection. And then this is a die cut, part of the die cut collection. This is another die cut, and I just staggered it so that it shows up underneath. So it's on this matte page here. So there we go. Here's another pocket page. Inside I've got 2 card ephemeras, which you can mount photos or journal inside. There's an additional one. Right here is a fussy cut flower from the main page, and then I just tucked a piece of die cut leaf behind it, and that is again the Prima leaf. I used 2 of the Prima leaves here, and a couple of the flowers, and then a fussy cut for this pocket detail. This is actually adhered to the pocket, so everything slips right behind it. Nice and neat. Again, these are all pocket pages, so another nice large photo mat. And I think I forgot the previous page, but there's another one, so there's a total of 4 of those. And then on our last page, my last floral arrangement, again, featuring all the Prima Flowers. These are the rose packs, and I really like these little elements here with the crystal on top, and then the little pearl stamens. It's very pretty. These are the graphic leaves that you see featured in this floral arrangement. There's a die cut here. Here's a ticket. Here's another piece of that torn vellum that I like to use. Here's another ticket that I used, and I just tore off the edge to make it a little rough and interesting. And then this is a piece of die cut that I tore the edge on, and then a die cut heart here. And then on the last page, before I open this up, I'll go ahead and go over this. More of the Prima Flowers. And again, I'll list those all in the more. Graphic 45 leaves. And then this, it's all mounted on top of a die cut. One of the die cuts. Okay, so this is our last page. And I just tied myself a knot, so you have to be patient with me. I pulled it the wrong way. This is our last flap. And this is just simple twine that I use to close the pages. You can use ribbon or something else if you like, but I didn't have any ribbon that I thought went well with it. Okay, so we have on this side a simple die cut. It's open-ended on the top and bottom, so you can place photos above and below. Here's another card ephemera, so it's just folded in half. It adhered only on 3 of the 4 sides so that you have a pocket. And then here's another one of those beautiful die cuts. Like I said, they just give you so much to work with. So I got a collection of all the die packs. I think there's 2 die packs and the chipboard. And as you can see, I've got some stuff left over. So there's plenty of leftovers to work on another album or a small project or do some cards. So you definitely don't have to worry about having enough of the elements. They give you plenty to work with. So that is my first complete Prima album featuring the Pretty Pale. So this is the first time I worked with this paper. I really liked it. This is a beautiful, very soft, very subtle collection. So again, I think the interest comes from the layering and the textures that you add. So it's not going to be an album that is going to work for you if you're not willing to put some effort into some of the layering. But I love it. The flap designs that I used are very simple because I